and the situation with the NCP. We are joined at this stage by Tuhin Sinha of the BJP, Matthew Anthony of the Congress Party. We are also joined by Sudhir Suryavanshi, the senior journalist. Thank you all very much for being with us. We'll be joined by our NCP guests and the Lok Sabha MP of the Shiv Sena of the Uddhav Thackeray group, Arvind Sawant, joins us on this program as well. Mr. Sinha, let me come to you first. Who exactly is your ally? You say it is the NCP, but the NCP at this stage seems terribly confused. Some say Sharad Pawar is the NCP, some say that Ajit Pawar is the NCP. How do you resolve this situation?
Well, good evening, Vishnu. Good evening, everybody. For us, very clearly, NCP is Ajit Pawar. And I think Sharad Pawar has been overrated for a very long time now. I don't think he has, the numbers which he's claiming. But the more important point over here is that in the last 3.5 years, the chaos that Maharashtra has witnessed, only two people were responsible for that. One is Uddhav Thackeray and the other is Sharad Pawar. It was very important to decimate the influence of both of these characters so that Maharashtra does not suffer in future. The mandate very clearly was for a BJP-led coalition. At that point of time, it was supposed to be, the Shiv Sena headed by Uddhav Thackeray. But Uddhav Thackeray betrayed us. And now, that we have installed the real Shiv Sena under Eknath Shinde, now that Ajit Pawar also wants to join us and strengthen the government, he is most welcome. I don't think Sharad Pawar really has the numbers. The numbers are with Ajit Pawar and they will get clear tomorrow. But also another important point, essentially, you people accuse us of destroying democracy. We have rather restored democracy in Maharashtra from the way it was attacked by both Uddhav Thackeray and Sharad Pawar. Essentially, try to understand that these are fallouts of dynastic politics, unnecessary favoritism towards Aditya Thackeray. So obviously the more deserving candidate, Eknath Shinde, parted ways.
No,
Similarly,
but Tuhin, I must ask you, you say that the BJP has been accused of hurting a democratic process. Some would suggest that, in fact, that is true. I mean, you split the Shiv Sena and now you split the NCP.
No. So essentially, like I mentioned, we got 105 seats out of the 156, 57 we contested because we were in alliance with Uddhav Thackeray. Combined together, we won 161 out of 288 seats and got 42.6% votes. So who betrayed us? It was Uddhav Thackeray. Now that we have restored the real Shiv Sena, which still believes in the principles of Bal Thackeray, which still believes that the BJP is its natural partner, there is an important part of NCP which also wants to join us, which wants to contribute to the development agenda. And I think given the way Sharad Pawar was complicit in the betrayal of the mandate in 2019, it's all the more important that Sharad Pawar is decimated and that important chunk of NCP joins us in our development agenda.
Okay. Matthew Anthony, Sharad Pawar is overrated and complicit in the fall of the BJP several years back. How would you respond to that?
Vishnu, thank you for taking me in this. Let me put my thoughts across to this. I repeated my statements of yesterday that this is the state of Maharashtra of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. And BJP has backstabbed two regional parties which has its origin from Maharashtra, which is NCP of Sharad Pawar and Shiv Sena of Bal Thackeray. They don't have the courage to leave the Shiv Sena and the NCP without the names of Bal Thackeray and Sharad Pawar, even while you're stabbing them behind the back. Now, the BJP claims that they have the mandate. They never had the mandate. The mandate is 144 plus. So how can they claim that? No, it was an indefinite mandate from the people of Maharashtra. So they are now looking at this, that the news channels and everybody says, that no, this politics is the game, we are winning it. I'm sorry to say that if not today, we are going to pay the price for this gaming of politics. Politics is a noble service, an altruistic service, where we have to respect the morals of it and the politics of it.
No, but then that question can be turned on you. The BJP has every right to say that when they won, they had the largest number of seats in the previous election. It was the Congress and ultimately the MBA which went and took them out of power. So where were the morals then?
Let me complete. Shiv Sena came as a whole. It didn't came as in parts. So the Shiv Sena as a party took a call. It was a 100% call from the Shiv Sena, who was an alliance partner, to leave the alliance and come and join the other alliance. And Congress and NCP was already in an alliance. So where's the question of we breaking anybody? We didn't break anybody.
Dr. Sameer Dalwai of
alliance.
the NCP joins us at this stage. I'll just come back to you, Matthew, in a bit.
Thank you.
Dr. Dalwai, tomorrow is apparently a massive show of strength. Sharad Pawar and his supporters, Ajit Pawar and his supporters. Do you believe that Mr. Sharad Pawar has the numbers? And is it at this stage relevant at all? Because the BJP has sworn in, the Shiv Sena BJP has sworn in members of your party.
Absolutely. Good evening. And I don't think there's any doubt. Tomorrow it will be very clear where the party is and who's deserted it. And there's no question of a split or a faction. It's just a desertion by a few people. I'm amazed at the alacrity of the BJP spokesperson saying that they've joined for the development of the country. They've joined Mr. Modi for the development of the country. The person who 72 hours back, Mr. Modi was calling as the most corrupt person, if Mr. Modi wants him to join him within 48 hours to further the developmental agenda of the country, it's very clear what this development is. The BJP has now become a conglomerate of the people it called the most corrupt for the last so many years. And that's what the BJP is today. And on the back of a defeat in Karnataka on the basis of 40% corruption and commission, it's very clear what the BJP is aiming to do. Its development is nothing but the development of corruption. And for the entire ideology that they speak about, it's nothing like an ideology.
No, all that is fine. But Mr. Dalwai, I think the key question right now, is the support that you have, because
absolutely.
Ajit Pawar has claimed the support of 40 of the 53 MLAs.
Everybody has filed a response saying that they all stand by Mr. Pawar. So many people who are seen in that list of head by Mr. Ajit Pawar have today, they were in the car with Mr. Sharad Pawar yesterday morning in Kannad.
So that's what I want to know. Ajit Pawar says 40 of 53 MLAs, 40 of 53, the huge number, are with him. How many MLAs are now with Sharad Pawar?
20 of the people whose list was given by him have been in touch with our party today, have spoken to Mrs. Sule, and they are all with us, and you will see this tomorrow.
So 20 of the 40...
Let me just tell you a funny instance, Vishnu.
No.
Somebody called me...
Sameer, half a second. Let's deal with the funny stuff in 5 minutes. But are you saying that 20 of the 40 who had gone across with Ajit Pawar are now talking to you once again?
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Second question, will they be a part of that show of strength tomorrow?
Absolutely, I think so. Okay. And tomorrow by this time...
So you think so or you know so?
The part is, somebody called me from the channel saying, "Aap kaun se side pe ho?" So I said,
it's a fair question. We are all confused at this stage.
No, because he's asking, there's no spokesperson who's going to represent that side. And I said, that tells you the story.
Well, they've actually got two other parties with them, and they are in government. So, in a sense that...
Nine people are in government, Vishnuji. That doesn't make a party.
All right, so we'll hold you to it. 20 people of the 40 people are going to be in that show of strength tomorrow. Let me get a reaction.
Yes, they were back. Just 30 seconds more. They were backstabbed by Mr. Pawar is an absolute lie. The problem with them and Shiv Sena was over the chief ministership. That was an internal issue.
Okay, but let me get an answer to the question to the point you mentioned, because it does boil down to numbers. Tuhin, how stable is the NCP which you and the Shiv Sena brought in as an ally? Over here it has been suggested by Sameer Dalwai that it's not stable and they're going back. How would you respond?
See, we are very confident that Ajit Pawar has the numbers. And you know, the onus is on Ajit Pawar to bring the numbers. So I don't see any political chaos out of it. But I am very confident, like I said, in a worst case situation, which is only an imagined situation, how that doesn't impact the government in Maharashtra at all. But I can tell you that this is, even in the first time when Ajit Pawar was sworn in with Devendra ji, eventually Sharad Pawar had to confess that he had given a go-ahead to the government after the Devendra Fadnavis' interview last week. But at this point of time, I don't think Ajit Pawar would have taken the step unless he was 100% sure of the numbers, and we have full confidence in it.
All right. So one way or the other, it doesn't really matter, is what you're trying to say. Your government is stable for the moment.
As far as the government in Maharashtra is concerned, it does not make any difference. Eknath Shinde ji will continue to be the CM. Devendra Fadnavis ji will continue to be the deputy CM. These were additional
So are you
numbers
less than
which would have
confident? Because
immensely.
Tuhin, are you
These
somewhat
were-
less than confident than you were, say, when Ajit Pawar joined?
No, try to understand that these were additional numbers which were, going to help us immensely in 2024. But it does not impact the present government any which way. Like I said, it's a matter of 24 hours. You will see who the number has. And we are very confident that the numbers are with Ajit Pawar.
I want to go across to Sudhir Suryavanshi, who's been tracking this very closely. Sudhir, as an independent journalist, what is your reading of the situation? Who has the numbers?
See, tomorrow, both Ajit Pawar and Sharad Pawar, they have called the meeting at a different places. I'm
Yes.
very, curious to see. Both uncle and nephew have got different places to have the meeting tomorrow. So,
Go ahead, Sudhir. Yeah.
So I think Ajit Pawar is confident, as Sharad Pawar is also confident to have the number. But one thing is sure that on the behalf of Sharad Pawar, Ajit Pawar was managing the show of the party, and he was the only person. He was very much touch, with the MLAs of the NCP and the leader of the NCP. Sharad Pawar is, of course, the face of the party. He is there to jail all these things.
No, but Sudhir, to the specific point which was being raised, I mean, we know who the old leader was, and we know Ajit Pawar's game over here. I'm asking you because there was a key point mentioned by Sameer Dalwai that 20 of the 40 MLAs who were apparently in the camp of Ajit Pawar, 20 of them, in other words, half of them, are back in conversation with Sharad Pawar and apparently are leaning back towards Sharad Pawar. Are you hearing that?
See, Vishnu, if you remember, I was the only journalist in Maharashtra. I first did the story in April 2023. That time, Ajit Pawar planning to go with the BJP, and that time he had taken the signature of 38 MLAs in April. And in what I am getting the information that the same letter, Ajit Pawar is likely to say, submit the government. But out of them, some of them are, reluctant to join the hand with the BJP. But some new faces are also joining. And the senior leader who is with the, Ajit Pawar, I spoke with this morning. He was saying that the target is to get at least 45 MLAs from the NCP, particularly. And now they have reached almost 35 or something like that. Again, in the night, there will be phone calls from the both sides, Sharad Pawar and Ajit Pawar. So there is a big tug of war between the uncle and nephew. I think, and the MLAs of NCPs are also confused. Which side they have to go? Because going with the Ajit Pawar, they may get the power, they may get the ministerial, but they get the fund. But the next thing is that on the other hand, there is a fear of political suicide also. Because on the ground level, the atmosphere is not in favor of the BJP. People are not like the way the revolt has happened earlier with Uddhav Thackeray and this Ajit Pawar also. So they are also confused. Many MLAs may absent also because they are not yet clear in their mind. They may take time.
Many MLAs not clear in their mind. Matthew, is the Congress party at this stage essentially hoping against hope that this doesn't work, because to a certain extent your entire plans on opposition unity ahead of the next elections would be impacted if Sharad Pawar comes out weaker? At this stage, there's a good chance that he probably will.
Vishnu, it is a good situation for the Congress party for the simple reason that...
Good situation.
Yeah, I'll tell you why. The backstabbing of two Maharashtrian parties by BJP is definitely going to... You check with any psephologist for that matter. You check with any election specialist for that matter. It will definitely have its impact. The reason why BJP is not holding the BMC election, the reason why BJP is very scary about the situation is only because of the backfire which they are going to face in this situation from the people of Maharashtra. So let them do all these backstabbing, because politics is not a mergers and acquisitions. Politics is not business. Politics is not trade. Politics is politics, where you need to have the people's mandate. Have the courage to win the people's mandate rather than doing it behind the scenes. Why do you want to do it behind the scenes? Because Ajit Pawar has got a fantasy to be the deputy CM, so he runs behind the deputy CM all the time. And his limitation is also that, he ends with the deputy CM and then, immediately
But
he has
Matthew,
to quit.
the other side of the entire argument is that if this alliance actually does survive, then the the MVA would be in deep trouble. If you just look
Not at all.
at the
Not-
whole of leaders
at all.
like Ajit Pawar, Praful Patel and the others, in certain parts of Maharashtra, the fact that Maharashtra has the second highest number of Lok Sabha seats, along with Eknath Shinde and what he represents, this could be a way for the BJP to actually make up for the loss in Karnataka.
Vishnu, I'll answer it like this. The moment a prime minister resigns from his office or, his term is over and he walks back, he never gets the same welcome from the people. It depends on his performance. So similarly, after this term, when they get out, they have to answer to, you know what happened? 25 people were burned live. And the next day, the BJP is stabbing from the back for NCP in the Samruddhi Express Highway. And, you speak about development. What is happening in Maharashtra? All 4 projects, the bigger projects of 1,80,000 crores have gone to Gujarat. Where is the development which they are promising? They speak the word development, but they're taking too much of constitutional liberties. And, can they prove a single point, a factual representation
Okay, so
of the development which they have
let
done
me
in the
ask
state of
Tuhin
Maharashtra?
that question. Tuhin, I think the larger political situation right now is people in the state might actually end up voting against the BJP for actually splitting parties. That's the point that the Congress was trying to make. How would you respond?
Not at all. The most unholy alliance in the history of Indian politics was perhaps the Congress-Shiv Sena alliance. In September 2019, just 2 months before they got into an alliance with Aghadi, there are videos of Uddhav Thackeray where he says that let me meet Rahul Gandhi. I will beat him up if he ever talks against Savarkar. Then when they get into alliance for the next 2.5 years, Rahul Gandhi continued to abuse Savarkar and Uddhav Thackeray did nothing. So these are the people who have lost their credibility. When it comes to development projects, all the metro rail projects in Mumbai are back on track, which were virtually stalled during the 2.5 years of MPA. The bullet train project is back on track and fast track. So I think people have seen a performance. People have seen how the mandate of 2019 was betrayed by these people. And moreover, Sharad Pawar needs to understand that there is more to politics than, throwing googlies and double games and then giggling at the journalist and then thinking he's done a great job. What does he really stand for today? In the last few years, all that he has done is thrown googlies and indulged in double games and then taken great pride in it. The people of Maharashtra, and including a large chunk of NCP, was very upset with this. Trust me, tomorrow when you see the number of people who are with Ajit Pawar, they were fed up of this double game. They were fed up of this intrigue. They were fed up of this treachery, which, Sharad Pawar ji had been indulging in.
Samir, you had a point. Go ahead.
I have a few points to make, so give me a few minutes. I am moved to tears by the amount of concern my friend Shri Tuhinji from the BJP, representing the BJP, has for whatever's happening in the NCP. What's very clear is the hand-holding that the BJP does to break parties. And the point is this. What has happened in the last 5 years in Maharashtra has been only this mudslinging by BJP when the other party, MBA, was in power. And after they have come, the only point is for the last 1 year, look at what they have done with Eknath Shinde and the Shiv Sena. They broke them away. For the last 1 year, entire Maharashtra has just been spending time over this spat between the two factions there. And BJP has been adding fuel by each and every person who's still with Uddhavji is being persuaded and pursued by the central agencies. This has happened in Maharashtra for the last 4 years. Now 1 year left to go. They could have done something good for the people of Maharashtra. Now they've come up with this thing which Tuhinji himself said there was no risk to the government. Then what was the need to do this? He said for 2024 election. And this Tuhinji, my dear friend, is what I'd like to tell you. People are fed up that this party which said they are against corruption is spending overnight work and midnight oil just to get everybody into their fold just because they are perpetually in an election fighting mode. And how can anybody be focusing on development if all the time they are only focusing on...
I would suggest, Samir, that every political party is in
if you are so good at development, if you are so corruption free, why the hell do you have to do all these things? Your performance would have spoken for itself.
I'll answer this.
Okay, so go ahead, respond to that.
They are down to 230.
Surprisingly,
that's the internal survey.
Samir, half a second. You've raised points. Tuhin, go ahead.
Surprisingly, Dr. Dalwai seems to be confessing that most of NCP is a corrupt party. That's
no, you are the one who called them corrupt, not us. You are the one who are
Number two, let me
let Tuhin answer.
Let me put this on record that certain MLAs making independent political decisions and the ED charges are two separate things. Sometimes the ED investigation takes well up to 10 years. I will give you the example of Mukul Rai. Mukul Ray, who joined from TMC at that point of time, we were accused of the same thing, that he's being inducted so that the cases end. Today, when he has gone back to TMC, are we reopening the cases? So, these are two separate things. The ED investigation sometimes take many years, but wherever the ED has found conclusive evidence, the conviction rate is among the highest for any agency. And rest assured, it might take many years, but if any member inducted over here is indicted by any of the agencies, they will have no option but to quit.
But Tuhin, the other way of looking at it would be that why would you necessarily want to induct MLAs who face serious charges of money laundering?
See, like I said, there are larger, sometimes you need to take a larger view. And it is important to decimate the impact
There's a larger view to
Uddhav
money laundering
Thackeray and
allegations.
Sharad Pawar in Maharashtra politics once and for all, so that Maharashtra does not ever suffer the fate it suffered under Agadi.
Amazing. Let me reply to that. This
I
is
think
exactly
Matthew wanted to reply. Matthew, go ahead.
one voice.
Yeah.
This is the most
Samir,
undemocratic thing, that there
Samir,
should
just
be
give me a
only one
minute.
voice.
No, one
in a
sec,
country.
one sec.
And this is the mother of democracy that perhaps Modi ji was
One
speaking
sec,
about.
one sec. Samir, I'll come back to you. Yeah.
Okay. Vishnu, the same Eknath Shinde has made a complaint against Ajit Pawar, stating that he as a finance minister is not allocating resources to the same ministers, and the MLAs of the Shiv Sena and the ruling alliance as a reason to quit the party. And one of the Shiv Sena MLAs who was there also said that if NCP is coming as a faction and not joining BJP, we will leave the government. And we have seen the videos of Fadnavis, raging against Chhagan Bhujbal. What is the case against Praful Patel? What is the case against Hassan Musharraf? Tuhin, you don't cut yourself to a joke. Please don't say. Please don't justify the corruption.
Let's not get personal on this program.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying that itself. Don't justify the corruption. You might have done it for political compulsions, but the corruptions are corruptions. You can't justify it.
No, who's justifying it? Rather, I'm sticking my neck out to say that the ED investigations will continue to proceed. And the moment anybody is indicted, he will have no option but to quit.
Let me come
We
to
know
Sudhir
very well
next.
that ED has
There
been
are
used
leaders
left, right,
on
up and down.
record.
Okay,
who
one
have
second.
gone on camera to say
Sudhir,
that
let me
they are
ask
safe
Sudhir a
now
question. He's
because
been waiting patiently. Sudhir, does all of this in any way make Eknath Shinde somewhat more vulnerable within the ruling alliance?
Absolutely, Vishnu. If you see today, Eknath Shinde faction, particularly Shiv Sena, MLA statement, one MLA has said that they have already advocate number 172 out of 288. So why Ajit Pawar was inducted as a minister? They had all numbers, and other members said he was called for the to take the oath as a minister on Sunday, but he was not given the oath as a minister. Second thing, Eknath Shinde and the Devendra Pandits had a program of government at door. This program is also got cancelled. I think Eknath Shinde is, he will more rattle because of the entry of the Ajit Pawar. Ajit Pawar cannot be Devendra Pandit. He will not say Devendra, Eknath Shinde is my boss. I will work under the Eknath Shinde. Ajit Pawar functioning style is completely different. He is very macho style of the, politician. He will dominate the entire cabinet meeting, and that will definitely rattle the Eknath Shinde. The day, Ajit Pawar took as the deputy chief minister oath at the Raj Bhavan. If you seen the video, in that video, Eknath Shinde is busy with the mobile. He is, not meeting the people, not talking with the other people who have taken the oath. And that entirely shows that Eknath Shinde is completely rattled. And I think that is it a BJP's game plan to say indirect message to Eknath Shinde that your time is over, you just exit gracefully, or they may use the disqualification thing which is pending, that sword is still hanging over them, 16 MLAs, Eknath Shinde is one of them. So his future is in dark. Eknath Shinde people, they were fighting for the seats and the Lok Sabha seat arrangement. Now they are very concerned about their future. I think that will send a very wrong message to the Eknath Shinde Shiv Sena.
All right. Well, we're going to take a short break at this stage. We're going to follow this very, very closely. But tomorrow, one way or the other, is going to be a really crucial day. Both sides of the NCP, the Ajit Pawar side, the Sharad Pawar side, it's going to be a show of strength in different parts of Mumbai tomorrow. Let's see who comes up tops. Both of them say that they've got the support of the maximum number of leaders.